So this is To All the Hobonichis I've Loved Before. We are on the eve, the precipice of Hobonichi season, and I'm going to review every single Hobonichi product that I have ever tried. Over on Instagram, I have been talking about the Hobonichi 2024 lineup and new products and changes as they are revealed every day this month, and it got me thinking about the products that I have personally tried that I have really loved or that have not worked so well for me, and I want to talk about them in this video as we are all planning on what we are going to buy when September launch happens. So I hope this video is helpful for you. If you have favorite Hobonichi products, you know the drill, leave them in the comments down below. Which ones do you swear by and which ones are kind of overrated? I'm curious to know your thoughts as we go through this video. I'm gonna be talking about mine, so stick around. It's gonna be fun. So these are all of the Hobonichi planners that I have in my collection that I have used over the years. I also have some accessories, which I'm also gonna touch on in this video a little bit as well. But first I wanted to talk about the planners because that's the main bread and butter. It's why I went to Hobonichi. It's why I like them. Their planners are super high quality. They all use Tomoe River paper as well, if you're familiar with a thin sort of like Bible-like paper. Very big draw. They sort of helped popularize that in the planner community, and it is really luxurious, I think. They also have many different sizes. As you can see here, I have a Cousin, which is an A5 size, a Hobonichi Weeks, which is like B6, but slim-ish, very, very little planner. They have their original techo in English and in Japanese, and then this is another variation of the Weeks. They also have a few other planners. They have a day-free one, which I have never tried. You can usually get these two different variations of planners in a half year. So instead of getting the full year Cousin, you'd get like a half year book. Instead of getting the full year, you'd get like a half year. And then you could just have a new planner at the half year. And they also have a Weeks Mega. So this is a Sneaker Weeks Mega. So regular Weeks, Sneaker Weeks, in the mega size. It has twice the amount of notes pages and is quite a bit thicker. They have a hardcover Weeks variant that has the mega pages. I've just never gotten it. And then they have the day free, which I've never used, but has, it's basically like the Hobonichi Cousin. You can get it in A5 or A6 size, and it just has months and then days. It doesn't have like daily pages, but it has like blank pages instead of the dailies. So lots of variants. Oh, and I also forgot about the 5-year techo, which is essentially a 5-year journal. I don't use the 5-year. I have not used the day free. I think I'm going to get a day free for next year. I'm really excited. But these will be the products I am sort of like loosely reviewing in this video. So let's start with the Hobonichi Cousin. This is like their flagship product. It's their baby, I think. It's not their first product. They first started out with just the little techo, but the Hobonichi Cousin has become sort of a larger in life planner. Lots of people use it all over the world. I think it's pretty much what transformed them into a global brand, if I had to like track over the years. Lots and lots of people use this. With this one, you'll also notice that there's a spring sort of insignia here. Hobonichi releases products in September and in February, and the September release will be for 2024 this year, so it'll be like January start planners. Editing Rachel here. The September launch is actually live right now on the Hobonichi site, and I did a full walkthrough of it at the pop-up event in Los Angeles. So you can check out my vlog. I'll leave it linked up in the cards, or head over to the Hobonichi site to see what is available as well. And then the ones that get released in February will be April start planners. I believe this has something to do with like Japanese holiday and or school schedules. So I'm not quite sure, but it's basically the equivalent to them, like to in the US releasing like a September or July, like half year start planner, if that makes sense, because we think of that as the academic calendar, but they have a slightly different sort of like cultural understanding of new fresh starts and calendar starts and things like that. So this starts in April. But it's the same otherwise as a regular Hobonichi Cousin. And I really love the Hobonichi Cousin. I think it's a darling little planner. And by little, I mean it's like huge, actually. It's not little at all. It is A5 size. So if you have bigger handwriting or you like to write a lot more or need to write a lot more, it's a really good planner for that. Personally, I find this a bit heavy to carry around every single day. You can see it's pretty thick. They do sell it, like I said, in a half year. So you'd get like the weeks, months, days for half of the year, and then the other half of the year you start in July. So you could get that if it's a bit too heavy to carry around. But basically this is a brilliant and beautiful all-in-one planner. So it has yearly views where you can view the entire year at a glance. It has monthly pages. This is one way I have used my monthlies. Let me find a blank monthly so you guys can see what it looks like. It has monthlies that look like this, nice and big, lots of space to write. It has weeklies. Again, let me find a blank one so you can see what it looks like. It has weeklies, sort of looks like this with a 24-hour calendar down the side, nice big sidebar. And then of course it has daily pages, which are different colors for every month that you're in. And they are, again, nice, big. They have a timeline, but the design really isn't oppressive. You can basically turn this into whatever you want. So it is a great all-in-one planner because it has dailies, monthlies, weeklies, plus all the yearly stuff. Like, it just has it all and can really do it all. If you need something all in one, this is a super, super good pick. I have a full pros and cons on the Hobonichi Cousin video. I will leave it linked up in the cards if you want to go check it out. But generally, I really like this planner. Again, I don't use it as a daily planner. One thing that I do use this planner for is just their layouts. I think their layouts are amazing. On my weekly, I come in here and I map things out all the time, completely unrelated to the dates. I end up getting a planner like this almost every year because it's just a joy to use the paper. It's a joy to use the layouts. And in general, I find myself coming back into this to like plan stuff and, you know, use it to make content for videos. I really like this planner. I think it's a really solid choice if you need an all-in-one. Also, Hobonichi is sort of famous for popularizing the Tomoe River paper. It's this very thin, sort of almost Bible-like paper. It handles fountain pens really well. It handles watercolor really well. I don't use either of those things. That's just what I've heard, but I've never had any trouble with anything bleeding through. I mean, anything. I mean, I've never used a Sharpie on these pages, but like literally nothing has ever bled through. And they are so, so, so thin. So there are pros and cons to the thinness of the paper. You do sometimes need like a pencil board or something to write on, which Hobonichi also sells, in order to not get your pages like to crinkle. But in my opinion, the sort of like crinkling of the pages is kind of what makes it like fun. You know what I mean? Just has a different sound. It sounds lived in, which I really like. So, you know, you can use this planner for basically anything, and I love it. I'm not sure if I'm going to get one for 2024, but I really do think that this is a very special book, a very special type of planner. Also, one thing to note about Hobonichi's, especially the Cousin, the binding is incredible. Like, it can bend all the way back in on itself. Can you see that? It can bend all the way back in on itself and like not feel a thing. So people really like to tape a lot of things in, stuff inside these planners, and it can really handle it. One of my favorite techniques is like if I'm writing in the weekly section, you can see that there's like there's not enough space here, or like not enough bulk here, so that like it'll just like go down on the desk and make it a weird writing angle. But you can literally just do this, and then boom, and then it's like a perfect flat surface for writing. This book is just very, very well made. I will say you do kind of need a cover. I've had this without a cover, and I pretty much just keep it in my home, and this is the sort of kind of dirt that collects on it. So you do kind of need a cover, which Hobonichi does sell, and I will get to that in a second. But that's pretty much what I have to say about the Hobonichi Cousin. Honestly, 4.5 stars out of 5 stars. I think this is an excellent planner. Let's talk about the smaller-ish version of the Cousin, which is the original Hobonichi Techo Original. So this is the planner that Hobonichi first started with, I believe. It's real small, real cute. It's A6 size, very good for on the go. This one you can also get in like a half size. This one is the Japanese version. This one is the English version, although I'm pretty sure for 2024 they're either doing away with this version or just creating a version that looks like this but is in English instead. Hi, editing Rachel again. Yes, they are adding a version of the original Techo in English. So the one on the left will be in English, and then the one on the right will still remain. The black cover will still remain, but all 3 planners are going to be available. It's going to be amazing. So I'll show you the difference. It's like a completely different layout for some reason, and nobody was really quite sure why Hobonichi did it that way. The grid size is even different. I think there's some sort of comment on the fact that like English audiences have slightly bigger handwriting, so it's a little bit different. I'm not really sure. They did away with the priority boxes up here. They made everything a bit wider and a bit bigger. So lots of people didn't really like this design. So I'm pretty sure for 2024, they are keeping this design, but just making everything in English, like the quotes in English and all that kind of stuff, which I think will be really cool. I really think that this design is better. And don't really care for this one, but I do like the slick black cover of this one though. I think the slick black cover looks really nice. So if I could get this exterior with this interior, I'd be pretty happy. But the Hobonichi Techo original is very small, very good for on the go. It does not have quite everything that the cousin has. There are no weekly sections, but there is a weekly supplement that you can get, and this is what the weekly supplement looks like. I got one in 2022 just to see what it was like. Essentially, it's like a vertical weekly that's super small, so it's 1 hour per line, and it doesn't have the they don't list out all the numbers here, but it's 1 hour per line. It has a couple of priority boxes. It's really small. I find this extremely hard to use in a practical sense. I think it's good and fun for like mapping things out loosely and scheduling them, which I have done a couple times if I just need to like plan out how my week is going to go before I actually put it into my planner. But in general, I find this pretty unusable, so I don't necessarily recommend it. If you're going to get the smaller version of this planner, you're going to get it because of the daily pages. You're not really going to get it because of the weekly supplement. You know what I mean? But yeah, besides that, it does have the daily pages, and then it also has the months, which look like this, so quite a bit smaller. I have really been liking this for daily journaling. The space is like a little bit too small for long form journaling. It's really good for just jotting down one memory or jotting down like a couple different things that happened. But if you need a lot of space for like process journaling, you know, deep work journaling and stuff like that, I recommend getting a different book. I actually have a different book that I use for that. This is just like daily highlights, lowlights, stuff like that goes in this journal for me. But yeah, I use it as a journal. I know lots of people who use it as a planner, but for me, this is like ideal size for a quick daily synopsis. What out of 5 would I give it? Probably like for sure this one is like a 4 out of 5. I think it's a really good planner. It still has the Tomoe River paper, obviously, which all the Hobonichi books have. So it can handle a lot. Its binding is still amazing. So honestly, so is it. It is also so on the English version as well. The binding is really good too. But I think 4 out of 5 makes more sense than like 5 out of 5 because for me, it's just a touch too small, but I have found a way to make it work in my system, and I will probably get another one for next year. The English one, I don't know, 3 out of 5 maybe. Like I said, the construction is really good, but the layouts, it's just like a bit weird. So that's the original Techo. Quick rating for the weekly supplement, I don't know, 2 out of 5. It's really not worth it. Now let's talk about the Hobonichi weeks, which I have 3 here before you. Most of the weeks look a little bit like this. They are hardcover. This is an additional plastic weeks cover that Hobonichi sells that you can put on top of your weeks to make it last, which I think is great. I really love the weeks, so I'm a little bit biased. I think the weeks is fantastic. It might be my favorite planner that Hobonichi sells. Here I have the English version and the Japanese version. I did a full breakdown of the differences between English and Japanese on my channel last year, so go check that out up in the cards if you want to see the difference. Basically the functional difference of using them, it's no different. I essentially ignore the quotes down at the bottom whether they're in English or in Japanese, so it's not that different, but it is. If you prefer it in English, fine, that's good. But essentially, it's no different. For the weeks planners, they have the standard weeks, which has monthly pages that look like this. Very small monthlies. So if you're a big monthly planner, you may not want to use this little tiny size notebook. And then they have weekly pages, which look like this. So a week down the side, and then the memo page over here on the side. This is my favorite weeks layout way to set up a weekly. So I really like this one. And then in the back, it has a series of notes pages. They have between 70 and 75, depending on if you get the Japanese or the English version. And this is just blank note paper. Now, they also have another size of this planner that has double the amount of blank note paper, and that is the Mega. So if you can see here, this is the thickness of the regular Hobonichi, and this is the thickness of the Mega Hobonichi. So it has a lot more pages if you find you need to take a lot more longhand notes, or if you want to use those back pages for journaling or anything like that. You might want to pursue a Mega. The Mega does come in the hardcover version. It'll often come in like a plain color and not these fancy designs. Honestly, the weeks is where all the fancy designs get put on the cover. You will never ever see like an A6 original or the Hobonichi cousin with like a cute design like this. Okay, obviously I wasn't talking about the HON or HON planners here. I was just talking about the sort of cardstock cover original and cousin, but they do make an HON or HON planner with cute cover designs that have the inside of the cousin or of the techo. The Hobonichi Weeks is so customizable and so cute because you can pick whichever cover speaks to you the best. So I was talking about megas versus regulars earlier, and like I said, this is about the thickness difference. So this is a little bit chunkier, can be a little bit heavier. But this particular mega I have right here is a Sneaker Weeks mega. So it's the sneaker edition, which is generally lighter. This is like a cardboard fabric, honestly closer to what this is made out of. It's not really like hardcover like the other weeks are. It's very flexible and, as you can see, kind of flimsy. I used the crap out of this planner in 2022 and it's, as you can see, it kind of got busted a little bit there, which is fine. It's okay. I like my planners to be well loved and to be used. Important note, I thought I would need all these extra note pages in the back. I did not, so I could have just gotten away with a regular weeks size, which is why I bought regular weeks for 2023. But the Sneaker Weeks is sort of designed to be a bit smaller, a bit slimmer. The actual page design is exactly the same. The page size is the same. It's just the cover that's a little bit different. Would I recommend the Sneaker Weeks? I don't know. Yeah, especially if you don't mind it getting like a little bit beat up here and there. It's still a pretty good cover, but it just has like more of a vinyl-y texture and it's not hardcover at all. So if you like that, I would recommend the Weeks Mega, but it is important to note that it's smaller. It's like enough smaller than the regular Weeks size that these clear covers will not fit the Sneaker Weeks Mega or otherwise. They will just go over it and there'll be a little bit of plastic overhang. Again, if you don't mind that, it's not a big deal, but that was something that I had to figure out the hard way. Lastly, about the Weeks that I want to mention is that the color of the pages is actually this like soft cream color. Now, it has never bothered me. I use a lot of stickers and occasionally they'll sort of like white pop of sticker on the cream paper is kind of a little bit annoying, but other than that, it has never bothered me. It bothers a lot of people that it's this cream color, but for me, it looks fine. I'll give you a quick comparison with the standard Hobonichi paper. You can see it's quite a big difference, the cream compared to the white. So if that is a big issue for you, you're going to want to get a different planner, but I like it. I don't mind it. It's sort of made to be a little bit softer and easier on the eyes, which I think it achieves that goal. What would I give the Hobonichi Weeks? Oh my God, I would give this planner genuinely a 5 out of 5. I love the Hobonichi Weeks. It's so light. It's so portable. They come in such cute designs. You can get them in so many different variants, whether you want more pages, less pages, English, Japanese, soft cover, hard cover. It just comes in so many different variants, super customizable. But also, I just think this is like the planner that is, I'm gonna get one for the rest of my life probably. I don't know. I don't know. It just has such a great little layout. This is the kind of layout that has worked for me throughout my whole planning journey. I will often set up layouts like this if I'm doing a bullet journal, or I will look for planners like this if I'm trying something new, like a new brand. I love this layout. I just love this layout. I think it's spectacular. And I think the small size as well, for me, the small size here, it's not quite as like suffocating as it feels in the A6, because in the A6 I'm trying to journal, and honestly planning for me in the A6 doesn't really work because I need a weekly personally, but the A6 feels like a little bit small if I'm trying to journal in it. But the Hobonichi Weeks, for like planning and productivity purposes, the small space actually saves me a lot of time, because instead of trying to fill it up with endless to-do lists, I'm filling it up with just the like 3, 4, or 5 priorities that I need to get done during the day, and it just helps me focus so succinctly. I love it. Okay, I love the Hobonichi Weeks. I would give the standard Hobonichi Weeks a 5 out of 5. For the sneaker, genuinely, just because I think the cover is quite flimsy and you kind of need to buy additional covers for it if you want to keep it protected, I would say maybe like a 4 out of 5, maybe even like a 3.5 out of 5 with like how beat up the cover ends up being. But it's still a really good planner, really good planner. And will definitely have the space that you need if you get the Mega with all the space in the back. Oh, really quick on the binding. The Sneaker Weeks has the same kind of binding as the Hobonichi Cousin, so you can sort of like roll it around, but all of their planners lie flat. I mean, there's like a few variants of the Weeks that have like leather-ish covers that I think need some breaking in, so you might want to do your research on specific Weeks customizations if you're going for a Weeks planner, but this is just the standard hardcover and it lays flat. It's not functionally any different from like the Hobonichi Cousin or the Hobonichi Techo Original. They all lie flat, which is a huge plus. I will never ever go back to a book that doesn't lie flat. Okay, 5 stars for the Hobonichi Weeks. I am truly obsessed with this planner. 4 stars for the Hobonichi Sneaker Weeks Mega. Just not my thing, but still a really solid option. That concludes the planners that I have tried. Let's talk a little bit about accessories. So I don't really buy a ton of Hobonichi accessories, but I'm just going to run through these super quickly. There are pens that you get every single year. They're Uniball Jetstream ballpoint pen ink. They're the best ballpoint pens in my opinion. You can buy Uniball Jetstream pens anywhere. It's not exclusive to Hobonichi, but each year Hobonichi produces these unique pen bodies that have a unique color. So for 2022, it was this nice teal color, which I loved. For 2023, it was this brown and blue combination color. It has a soft grip, and it is a multi-pen, which I personally adore multi-pens. They have multiple sort of options for you to choose from when you're writing. So this is the sort of custom pen that Hobonichi gives you if you buy a planner. I think they're great. Like 5 out of 5 stars for these pens. They're in 0.5. They're amazing. I love them. I have also tried their photo album. So I use the photo albums for stickers, and I can fit quite a lot of sticker sheets in here without it breaking. Again, construction of these items is just really high quality. Like I would have never guessed that I could. This one has like 20 sticker sheets in it, this one alone, and like it's still holding up. And by this one alone, I mean this individual like photo sleeve has like 20 more sticker sheets in it. So you can fit like a lot of stuff in here, and I pick one up every once in a while when I need a new one. But honestly, this one has been going for me since 2022. Yeah, for 2 years. I've used this same one, and then I have a backup somewhere, but I literally never need to use it because it's well constructed and it holds all my stickers. There are 10 photo sleeves in here, so 10 photos, 10 sticker categories, whatever you want to use it for. This is how I'm using mine. Rating, I don't know, 4.5 out of 5. No reason. That's just a rating. Pencil boards. This is a Weeks size pencil board. Somewhere on this earth, I also have a Hobonichi cousin size pencil board, an A5 size pencil board. I don't know where it got to, but the Weeks size pencil board I actually really like. They make them sized for any planner that you get. So you can get a Weeks size, a techo size A6, or a cousin size A5. I really love the Weeks size ones because they also act as like bookmarks and rulers really successfully. I don't really use these as they're intended as actual pencil boards because when I'm writing in my Hobonichi, you can see here, this is like the back of a page that I have written on. I don't know if you can tell that, but like you can see the sort of indentation on the back of the page. I like that. So the pencil boards are here if you're writing on the page, you slip them underneath. And again, they make A6 sizes, so it fits perfectly. You slip them underneath and then you write on top of that, and then you don't get that crinkly feeling. But I really like the crinkly feeling, so I never use the pencil boards as an actual pencil board. I use them as bookmarks, straight edges, rulers, things like that, or sometimes like extra places to stick sticky notes or tabs that I'm not using at that moment. And this one's really solid. I've been using this one for like a year now, and I really like it. Would recommend the pencil boards. I hear they wear out after a while, and mine is getting kind of dingy, so like, I don't know, is it a better quality pencil board than anyone you could find online? Probably not. So maybe like, I don't know, 3.5 out of 5, but they're a really handy tool nonetheless. Hobonichi also has these exclusive little rulers. This one is the green one. I really like this green one. I think it's pretty nice, but it is broken here. Like the dotted line thing just cracked very immediately upon getting it. So I don't know. It's like a little plastic ruler. It's not super expertly constructed. I find that this one has all the symbols I ever need. Like it has like a line here. It has obviously a straight edge. I can measure things with it. I like the dotted line. Even though it's broken, I still managed to find a way to use it. It has like a 5 stars, a checkbox thing. This one is really the one that I would recommend getting. They have a few variants, but I really like this little guy. I'm going to go ahead and give it like a 3.5 out of 5 because it did break. But overall, pretty solid little ruler to carry around with you in your planners. These products are not Hobonichi products, but I did get them from the Hobonichi store. This is like a little paper cutter. Super handy, super easy. This is a Midori brand, but you can get it from the Hobonichi store. And then this is actually a pair of scissors that looks like a pen. I'm obsessed with it. You open it up, little scissors, boom, cutting away. So handy. Honestly, I don't know, 4 out of 5 for these guys. It's really handy. And I do really like it. It obviously it hurts your hand to cut with not proper scissors after a while. So it's not good for everything, but it is really good for on the go. And then lastly, I want to talk about covers. So Hobonichi's big thing is they have like a ton of covers. And this one is the Animal Crossing cover, which like basically took the world by storm when it came out.
a couple of years ago. I happened to get it in the spring release. I was super happy to get it because like everyone else, I was obsessed with Animal Crossing, and it's so adorable. This is the A5 cousin size, and on top of it, it also has like a cover on cover, which helps protect this sort of like more vinyl cover material from like dirt and grime and stuff. Although the dirt do be still getting under there. I don't know if you can see that. Still be getting under there. I'm not really sure how, but whatever. So I recommend having a cover on cover. I really like the covers. It's a great way to customize your Hobonichi cousins and A6s. Generally, I like to look for a lot of pockets in my covers because I like to carry a lot of things around in my planners with my planner. Like you can see, I still have stickers left over in this one from when I was using it a long time ago. So I like to carry a lot of stuff around with my planners. And this makes a great option because it does have a lot of pockets. And then also it has this pen loop closure. So you sort of close the planner by sticking your pen inside both loops, and then the cover is closed. I know lots of people don't bother trying to close their planner and they just stick, you know, one pen in this one and one pen in this one, but it's up to you. It doesn't really matter how you use it, but that's how they sort of intended for it to be closed. I like their covers. They're not exceptional most of the time. They make just a ton of them every single year. And if you want to see me over on Instagram, I'm like reviewing the products as they go live or like as they're revealed in the month of August. So you can see some of the covers there. But basically, they make this sort of like vinyl material, and then they make fabric covers, and then they make leather covers. And depending on what kind of cover you want, the price varies a lot. But covers are the most likely thing that's going to get sold out. So if you really have your eye on a specific cover, you want to make sure you're there on September 1st. You want to make sure you're buying that planner right away. But things like the Hobonichi Cousin, never going to sell out. Never going to sell out. Hobonichi Weeks also kind of suffers from this, right? Some of the more fancier covers will sell out after a certain period of time, but the standard weeks are not going to sell out. But the covers are really where people like rush into the store to buy certain things. And this is the only Hobonichi cover I've actually ever gotten. It does make the Hobonichi Cousin like even fatter. Like even bigger, which is kind of crazy. So it feels like a really hefty planner when it's inside the cover, which is why I think a lot of people don't use the covers, but a lot of people do use the covers, and it's like a whole big deal. So it depends on your preference. You absolutely don't need a cover, and I'm going to personally say that the cover is like maybe like a 3.5 out of 5 because I think you can find really cute comparable covers that are not made by Hobonichi on the internet, especially on Etsy. I've gotten some really cute covers on Etsy, so you can check that out over there if you don't want to like pay the premium price for the Hobonichi brand Hobonichi covers. But they do sometimes have really fun, cute, and sensational designs like this, or other sort of like fabric pattern designs that look really classy. It just depends on your interest, but that's basically my review of the planner cover itself. It's not essential, even if you do need something to protect your Hobonichi. You can find plastic covers online that just like go over it like a sleeve so that it doesn't add bulk. You can find a lot of different options. You don't absolutely need a cover. So, okay, that is my review of all of the Hobonichi products that I have tried. It's a good sampling. I'm looking forward to trying some of the ones that I have not tried yet next year. Like I think I'm going to get a day free planner. We will see. I hope this video helped you guys in thinking about what you want to buy for this upcoming launch. If you are going to buy anything, remember, you don't have to. It's just books. It's just planners. You don't absolutely need one of these Hobonichi planners. Your planner from like a $10 tiny planner from Target will just do you just fine if you just need somewhere to jot down your ideas and thoughts. If you are a stationery head or a planner nerd like me, then having something that has this sort of like luxurious paper, the nicer binding, can be kind of a splurge, but kind of worth it if it's like something you really enjoy, tactile experience, things like that. So they have a lot of really good products. I'm going to be doing some more videos this month, basically reacting to the new stuff that they have out. And in September, I'm going to be making a how to choose a Hobonichi video if you guys want more details. So anyways, I just want to de-pressure the Hobonichi launch for any of you guys because a lot of us love this product, but a lot of us also do end up having kind of a toxic relationship spending money on Hobonichi stuff. So anyways, I hope this helped you. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to keep hanging out, I have a video somewhere on the screen with more content from me, or you can follow me at Rachelle in Theory over there. Like I said, I'm going through the Hobonichi new launch items on my Instagram stories right now, so check that out. And of course, subscribe, like, comment, be a friend. Yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.